Long-range wide area network devices are vulnerable to delay attack. This is because decryption is not required and the tools required are readily available and are not specialized equipment. In previous work, it was established that the delay attack against long-range devices is successful if the jamming signal can be sent within 500 milliseconds of the victim's signal transmission. However, the feasibility of detecting the signal transmission within 500 milliseconds is still not yet established. So, in a delay attack, the victim sender will transmit a message to its intended recipient, and this message is receivable by the attacker node. The attacker node will intercept the message and at the same time transmit a jamming signal to the intended recipient to prevent him from receiving the message. And the speed of detecting this signal is crucial because the jamming signal needs to be transmitted quickly enough so that the intended recipient does not receive the whole message. After a delay, the attacker node will replay the message so that the intended recipient will receive the original message by a delay from the original time. This is the setup of my experiment. So to receive the signals, I used a RTL SDR attached to a PC, which is connected via Ethernet to a router. And the LoRa node that I set up was also connected via Ethernet to a router. And both the LoRa node and the RTL SDR were placed in very close proximity to eliminate the signal propagation delay. The first signal detector I implemented was the energy detector. In the energy detector, we measure the magnitude squared value of the complex data received by the RTL SDR when it is known that there is no signal present. So we know that there is only noise present in the spectrum. We compare the magnitude squared value of the signal received by the RTL SDR against the noise threshold. And we detect a signal when the value rises above the noise threshold. This is a video of the magnitude squared values of the energy received, the magnitude squared value of the complex data received by the RTL SDR. And as you can see, when the value rises above 0.5, there's a signal present. The result of the energy detector is that it detected signals on average about 28.9 milliseconds, and the speed of signal detection ranged from 23 to 33 milliseconds. And this is well below the 500 millisecond limit imposed by the previous work. The second signal detector that I implemented was the match filter. So in the match filter, we measure the correlation of the upchirp in the preamble of the signal with the received signal. And we compare this correlation against the output when the input signal is noise only. A match filter maximizes the signal to noise ratio and is therefore more resistant to changing noise conditions, whereas the energy detector is vulnerable to changing noise conditions. This is a sample of a LoRa transmission, and the first part of the LoRa transmission is a preamble which consists of a series of upchirps and then 2.25 downchirps. The target signal that I used was a single upchirp. So the received signal will be correlated against this single upchirp and compared against the output of the match filter when I correlated the upchirp against the preamble, and this is the output. And as you can see, the spikes in the match filter output correspond to when the upchirp overlaps with each upchirp in the preamble. The results of the match filter detector varies depending on the spreading factor of the target signal. The signal detection time increases as target signal length increases. Because the match filter detector implements a fast Fourier transform algorithm which has complexity of O n log n, where n is the length of the target signal. So as spreading factor increases, the upchirp length increases, and therefore the average detection time also increases. However, the average detection time is still well below the minimum transmission time for each spreading factor. The signal is detected well below the minimum message transmission time. So there are a few future improvements that can be made for this project. The first is to explore other methods of signal detection. The second is to explore the effect of signal propagation delay on signal detection time. Because in this project, we assume that the signal propagation delay is 0. And lastly, we can also integrate the signal detection into a realistic delay attack to see if it actually allows for a successful delay attack.